So congratulations, you came at the very right time. Very festive atmosphere we're going to see in the city. And just another nice day, because yesterday there was a big storm. I guess you saw that when you were in Tallinn. So finally you're here. We're very happy. Welcome. Straight ahead in front of us, coming into the view, Crescent, which is one of the biggest icebreakers that used to be the biggest when it was built back in 1917 in Newcastle. It was transported here. It was used a lot to break ice in the Baltic Sea, but it's not used any longer. It is just used as a museum. And there's going to be a beautiful view of the city with the dome of St. Isaac's Cathedral, which is the fourth largest dome cathedral in the world, after St. Peter's in Rome, St. Paul's in London, and St. Fiora in Florence. It's just beautiful time of the day for taking pictures. And what we're doing now, we're getting to have our very first picture stop right by St. Isaac's Cathedral.
The first highlight that we came across was the Benoit Madonna, painted by Leonardo da Vinci in 1478.
Also known as Madonna and Child with Flowers. This painting was considered lost for centuries, but discovered in the early 20th century and purchased by the Hermitage. It's been on display since 1914 at the Hermitage.
This is another painting by Leonardo da Vinci, which he painted in 1491. The name of the painting is called Madonna Lita.
It depicts the Virgin Mary breastfeeding the Christ child. There is some debate as to the attribution of this painting, with some believing it's one of Leonardo's students, but the Hermitage is quite clear that it's a Leonardo.
This is the Constable Madonna by Raphael, painted in 1504. It is a dinner plate-size painting, and is known as Raphael's first works. It was painted when he was still a teenager.
Like many Renaissance paintings, it was painted on wood, which has a tendency as it gets older to be eaten by bugs and rot. And so what they did in the 19th century for many of these, including this, is they had a process where they transferred it to canvas.
This is another early painting by Raphael. The name of the painting is called The Madonna with the Beardless St. Joseph.
Apparently, it was quite uncommon to paint St. Joseph without a beard. This painting, like the other Raphael Madonna, was transferred from wood to canvas in the 19th century.
Danny is a 1636 painting by the Dutch artist Rembrandt. It is a life-size depiction of the character Danny from Greek mythology, the mother of Perseus. She is presumably depicted as welcoming Zeus.
In 1985, a vandal entered the museum and asked, "What's the most valuable painting here?" And they pointed to this painting. He then threw sulfuric acid on it and cut it with his knife before it was stopped. It's since been restored.
The Return of the Prodigal Son is an oil painting by Rembrandt.
It was painted in 1669, within 2 years of his death.
This painting caught my eye as well as Walt's because we were in Venice, Italy in 2011.
It was painted by Canaletto in 1726 and is titled The Reception of the French Ambassador in Venice. It's a beautiful day here in St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm here on the Graboviev Canal, and World Cup fever is in full force. Behind me is the Church of the Savior of the Spilled Blood that was built in honor of Alexander II, the Tsar who was killed in 1881. There are a number of stalls selling gifts here, and they take American dollars. I'm online to see the tombs of the Tsars here at the St. Peter and Paul Cathedral in St. Petersburg. This is considered the world's tallest Orthodox bell tower. The cathedral was built by Peter the Great himself.
Hey, Walt, I'm so glad to be back on the boat. It was a very long day of touring.
I think, Patty, that's the Wakata Center, the tallest building in all of Europe that was just finished this year.
Oh, really?
And are those nuclear power plants?
I think they are.
I think so too.
So these are apartments that we were discussing yesterday. Remember what you were telling me about digital apartments? So right here, these are new ones, and on the left-hand side, these are Soviet ones. And a lot of people are saying that this road looks like we're driving on the bones of a dinosaur. I don't know why they get that association, but that's what everyone is asking me sometimes. On the left-hand side in distance, we see that's where the river port is. You see those cranes on the left? So those are where we build ships. Remember the shipyard? And we're going to see some industrial areas today as we drive as well. So we're going to see tall buildings, modern apartments with a lot of floors, a lot of apartments, not very big ones, but prices there as we drive out of the city, they're less. Yes, a couple of wooden houses, those are old ones left from the times of 19th century. So as we drive now, that's going to be like a drive through the countryside. So it's going to be also interesting, different from yesterday. We're going to leave this town, and we're going to go to Peterhof, which is another suburban town near St. Petersburg. It's different directions, so we're going to go more south where Gulf of Finland is. So Peterhof residence is located right on the Gulf of Finland. So on the right is the upper park. I would suggest, so our restaurant is here on the left. So you see the park is just across the street. So will it be okay for you to walk? If we walk afterwards, yeah. Because as I said, this tour includes quite a lot of walking, and this way we'll see this part of the park as well. So our plan, have a look, you see the staircase, right? We're gonna go down the stairs, we're gonna take pictures there, then we're gonna walk on the right, you see that fountain? Yep. And we're gonna see another cascade, and we're gonna be going up, not the staircase, but the ramp. So please follow me.
Sense of the crowds here. You overlook at the other fountain over there. More sense of the crowds. I wonder if those guys are enjoying hot dogs. They have some interesting ice cream treats.